All right, hi you guys. Okay, okay. What do we got going on here? Muffin Top. What's going on? What do we have? If we've got some people in here that are creating issues, huh? We love it. That's okay. That just means that it's getting hot in their kitchen, right? Sorry, I'm chopping on some pretzels. Let's see. Welcome in, Muffin Top, G.H. White. Hello, hello. Yeah, so, Cammie, how are you? I got my new puppy. Oh my God. Love new puppies. 2.5 pounds. It's so fun. We go through lots of dogs over here. Vanessa, hi. So, Robert Thatcher, hello. Yay, it's showtime. Sherry, Vanessa. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited. Liz, I'm so freaking excited. Colleen, Brenda, look at all this. Awesome. Yeah, this is going to be epic. And from the looks of it, we're getting some really good attention. And it's fantastic that we're getting the attention because in order for these children to get the justice that they deserve, hi Brenda, their story needs to be told. Their story needs to be heard. And the way we do that is I just give you a story that is being told through me, through the children in spirit world. And everything I do and say here does fall under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. It's for entertainment purposes and educational. Nothing I have done here has been proven true thus far. I am not. It hasn't been proven false, nor has anyone's stories that are being put out on YouTube. Because if they were, we would have solved these crimes. We would have solved these murders, but we haven't. We haven't. It's freedom of speech. You don't like what you see and hear? Change the channel, my darling. Or you could choose to stay and learn with open heart, open mind, and sit back and just hear something different that you just don't know about, or maybe it terrifies you to listen, but become uncomfortable. Sometimes becoming uncomfortable within your own skin is the best way to grow, and it's the best way to learn about yourself. So those who come in here and immediately want to boo-boo it, think about why, right? Think about how you feel inside. Stop for that moment and go within. Because it could be a moment in time for you to learn about yourself and for you to understand who you are. Because many a times we're just all a reflection of you. Whoever's here listening, this is just a reflection of who you are. And if it makes you uncomfortable, that's who you are, and think about where else in your life do you do that, right? Because this is just a freaking YouTube channel. That's all we are. We're not God. We're not pushing this shit down your throat. We're not, you're not chained to your channel and you don't have to listen. No, it's making you listen. So think about your own actions. If you really want to learn about yourself and grow, that's the way to do it. And yeah, correct, Muffin Top. We see things differently. That's what makes the world turn, right, you guys? What makes the world turn is that we have millions of different views, and that's what's so beautiful. That's what's beautiful about it. But at the end of the day, like Brenda Clark just said here, we're just here for justice, meaning we're just here to hope to bring justice to the children. I don't even discuss guilt of any party. I might use different channels to get the information, which helps me guide. Hell no. What it means is I have an image to the best of the image could be to show you what I see within my third eye. That's all it is. Am I buffering again? I shouldn't be. Let me know if I'm buffering. I should be okay. Here we go. Tell me if I'm buffering. Okay. Am I good? Thank you guys for answering. Thank you, Rumple Long here, Sugar B, GH White, Colleen, Mary C. Look at everyone in here. So it's not and when I'm doing, thank you guys. For those that are new, when you see the number 1, it's just helps me understand that you see what I see, and the answer is a yes. Sorry, I'm eating pretzels while I'm talking, but I'm trying to. I just got out of the pool to get myself ready for today's live. Anyways, it's like, for example, the photo that you see here shows the boxes. It shows, I'm going to circle them so you see what I'm talking about. These are major elements, and many a times for the last 2+ years, I have seen these elements on people's reflections of the phone. And however you want to see it, these are heads on top. These are boxes: maroon box, yellow box, green box, white box. And this is some sort of a train with humans in it. And this is part of what goes on within the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children. I have started making a documentary which so far is fantastic, and I will start showing it next month, August. The documentary is strictly going to be about bringing justice to the children. It will not be about who I think's guilty. Nothing like that. Because here at WCIA Network, I don't give a shit. That's up to the authorities. I would care if I was a law enforcement. I would care if I was one who was able to go out in the field and place handcuffs on these people. I have no right to do that because no one's guilty until proven in the court of law. Period. Right? So I would like to welcome in a new person from a new channel that I have grabbed information from that to me mirrors a Brian Kohlberger in the Idaho 4. This is one of the pictures from this person's phone. It's a new channel that just came up 4 days ago. maybe 40 views, only has 4 videos. Now, I believe I'm brought to particular channels because it will help tell the story of the children. The children's story is getting loud. It's getting very clear to me. I'm seeing it. I am waking up to it. And it is pretty crystal clear. Now, this person has the same information as you see to the right. The information that you see to the right, let me see if I have these pictures over here. Everything extras comes from Brian Kohlberger's car. Now, you all might be saying, what the fuck? That does not look like it's from Brian Kohlberger's car. It is. And the reason I'm showing it is because the information that was given in Brian Kohlberger's car is the story of the Summer Moon Wells missing children in the Idaho 4. This information is coming from the new person I was just introduced to, who has 4 videos over 4 days. Now, Brian Kohlberger's information, his story, his car, his images, the videos that they put out from his body cam is nothing more than telling the story, just like when Bullhorn Betty put her story out about Brian Kohlberger in his car. Or was that Ethan Chapman? Anytime that you see the information in these cars, I call them fake cars. The information within these fake cars match by element. This new person that has come forth as a new guy that to me is showing nothing more than the story. To me is the story of the Summer Moon Wells missing children, but to me it's a story of directly the Idaho 4. Now, why is it that I say that? Whenever this guy holds up his phone, not only is he showing the boxes and people crawling to the boxes, the information that he shows behind the images of the phone might as well be Molly Golightly sitting in her hotel room. Meaning, he shows the elements and he shows the equipment within all 4 videos. If you look behind this guy's head, look behind the guy's head, the equipment doesn't change. It's not like, one screen it's going to be the equipment and the other screen it isn't. My equipment has stayed pretty consistent in over 2 years. The story of them going in the water, being sacrificed after they go through a brutal, brutal journey to get there, is all the same. The person that has put the 4 videos out, again, I'm not pointing at him. What I am telling you is the information that he has is the same fucking information of Summer Moon Wells and the Idaho 4. Summer Moon Wells has that little green box in the back with that number 5. The Idaho 4, all of the rest of them have those maroon boxes. Let me tell you something. I already sent this in to the authorities. Let me tell you something. You don't get images like this on accident. When all 4 of his videos speak the sacrifices of all of the ones that I'm following, something's not right. That's the guy with the thing around his eye. But what you see back there is Summer Moon Wells. She holds that, as well as Candace. It's a green box with the number 5. It's really clear. These are boxes with the number 5s. This is what I have been showing you guys on Benny Keys' phone for 2 years. He just happens to be a new player in the game. He's a new player. I wonder where... Let me see if I can find that. I'm going to only give it a few minutes because I'm not really good at finding photos on the spot. Let me see. Because her number 5 box will, if it's in these groups in front of me, it'll show up really fast because it's really obvious. Let me see. I'm looking. I put it with Candace because I showed it in a video where Candace was holding the same box. I'm looking. I try to look at the most recent. Right? Let's see. I'm only going to go through this one file. If it's in here, great. It's a shiny green box with the number 5 on it. Come on, be in here. Don't know if it's going to be in here. Thousands and thousands and thousands of photos. Oops. So this is going to get better. You know, again, this wasn't even the presentation I was going to show. I have broken down this presentation into 4 different videos that he had. The first one was the girl in the front seat as they're driving. The girl in the front seat looks like a Kylie Rodney with all this shit on her. The back of her head, her outfit, her face, all shifts because I know what's on her mouth and I know what's on her neck. I am telling you through spiritually speaking, this person has the equipment connected to her in the fake car. This person has it. Look at her neck, look at her face. This person has all of this equipment on her. That's what's on her face. Right there. This is what's on her back. And it shifts and changes. I did different frames so I could show you guys. This is what is on all of the victims that I show. This. Doesn't change. I sent this into the authorities because this is something that was just posted. To me, it's a victim that's a victim right now. This is what's all over her, and she's in the front seat of the car. Each time you go to a different frame, it shifts. She has the maroon stuff on her and the clear boxes that are hearts. Now, I sent this, and I'm really, really, really hoping that they knock on this person's door to let him know this is in his videos. I don't know if this person is in the States. But this is on her. It's not deep faked. The video itself shows it really clearly. It's not covered up. This information is not placed in there as a deep fake. This is in her hair, it's on her shoulders, it's on her body, and she's in the car. Here she is in the front seat. All of these victims have stuff on their shoulders and their eyeball. This here shows you that her mouth and her, you guys, it's just going to get really intense. You got to pay attention. Forget about whose videos these are. That's for the authorities. I don't want to give the channel because I need the authorities to do that first. This here, her mouth is covered, as well as her eyes. That's the equipment. That's the equipment. Now, as the videos go on, it mimics, when I say mimics, it speaks to me as if it's Summer Moon Wells Missing Children, but it speaks to me as if it's the age group as the Idaho 4. Age group is the Idaho 4. I feel like it's giving information that is directly related to Brian Kohlberger. And I'm going to show you why. they show Brian Kohlberger, I believe, allegedly, that this is the Elantra. And they show the Elantra with particular elements, which are the Idaho 4 Summer Moon Wells elements. They show someone laying in the bed, but this is as much as Elantra as Brian Kohlberger's car was an Elantra. This, I'm going to show you how it looks exactly the same. They make it a point to show it, but not only do they show it, but they show it with people in the car that have masks on their face. So the law enforcement, if they choose to, it's up to them. I'm here to tell the story, and this is the story. This is what happens to these victims. I am telling you, this is what happens to the victims from what I believe to be true. So when I say that their faces are covered, and Bullhorn Betty showed it exactly the correct way, and I said that that was in the white Elantra, there's no difference between that white Elantra and this. This one has the equipment inside the white Elantra. Look at the back seat. This is what Brian Kohlberger's car looked like when they pulled over with the law enforcement on the side of the road of that body cam. This is all allegedly, right? But this is information to me, which is critical to look into. This, I'm going to show you, this car is shaped identically to Brian's car. Now, do I believe Brian Kohlberger killed the four students? Maybe, but he wasn't alone. He wasn't the only one that touched a white car. I think there were more than one white Elantra cars. There wasn't just one. Why would they pick a car that looks just like his car? Watch. This is Brian Kohlberger's car. Allegedly. I personally don't think it is. I personally think that something is really messed up with these car photos. But when I look at the front and the back of the car that I see in this guy's video, it's the same. Look. This is Brian Kohlberger's. Now, even though they say this is Brian Kohlberger's, if you could see here that their hubcaps aren't even the same in both these photos. So I get very confused in what they mean by telling us it's the same. The bottom photo is the one that makes no sense to me. The bottom photo is a car that is underneath a freaking tunnel. That car is sitting in a tunnel. I don't know where that photo came from. I don't know where the hell they got the photo on the bottom. But that photo on the bottom has different hubcaps. So if you tell me that this guy's car has different hubcaps, so what? So does Brian Kohlberger's. His hubcaps don't match the car that they're showing. So to me, it was never the same car. I mean, if you're talking about someone who killed 4 students, you better get that correct. We can't just show a stock photo. Like, the question is this really his car? Because if it is, it's not the same. The hubcaps are different. This is the one that I questioned. This is the one that looks more like the one I'm showing you with the shit in their back seat. Because whoever is showing this photo The hubcaps don't match, but whatever is going on in the car, in the back seat, it's the same thing as this. You see? It's the same elements. Same elements. But this, to me, is under a tunnel, under a bridge, and if it's stock photo, why would it be under a tunnel, under a bridge? And why would it have the elements in the back? Looks like it's sitting on the hubcap. No tire underneath, tire on upper pick. Right. It's something isn't right, you guys, with these cars. And this dude's car might as well be Brian Kohlberger's car, because here's this dude's car. This to me is the Elantra. It looks the same. This is the same. Let me show you. Is this. So this guy's car, spiritually speaking, gives me more information about the Idaho 4 than Brian Kohlberger's does. This car, the front of this car is the same as the front of this car. The lights are on to the left. The lights aren't on in this one. This one is Brian's. I don't care if the hubcaps don't match, because guess what? Like I said, Brian Kohlberger's didn't match either. Because the two that they show are different. They're different. Here's Brian Kohlberger's car here, which is a bunch of crock of shit. This one, look at the wheels in this one. There are no wheels. There are no wheels. Look at how little the wheels are. So the wheels, this is the photo that they held as evidence that put him to the scene. I want to know whose car has little teeny little wheels like that. An Elantra doesn't. It doesn't match. And this guy, his car, to me, matches way more than Brian's car. This is not this car. It's just not this car. Period. This dude shows a great illustration of fake car ride, of what the Idaho 4 kids went through, of what Summer Moon Wells went through in her fake car. Now, you want to know where this car is going? This story continues. This car is headed to a water park. You heard me right. the car that has all the elements in it is Summer Moon Wells' missing children is continuing to tell the story. It's continuing to tell the story because it's headed to a water park, to a water hole, to a slip and slide. This car ride has 4 people in it. There are 4, maybe 5. There are 5 victims. The Idaho 4 were not alone, you guys. This carload represents the fake cars that are used to bring these people to their sacrifice. I'm going to point them out to you. They're in the bars, just like Summer Moon had the white bars on her. There are white bars on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The white bars that surround their heads are no different than the white bars that surrounded Summer Moon Wells' head. They're maroon because they have things over their heads. You can tell that they're in there and that they have the maroon bars. Those are the elements. This car is going on a field trip. I'm putting this out there for the law enforcement to see. This isn't a stamp in the window. This is some sort of a code. This isn't in the window because then it disappears. It's some sort of code. And it's not painted in the window. It's there for a split second. So I'm putting this up here for the law enforcement to look at. It says something like KCKR. It first has an E and a 2 and a V. Here, I'll point it out while I'm doing it. Here. E and a 2, there's a V. This is a KR 5755 or 5725. And then this is an ESG. And then whatever's up here, something AE. These are codes. Definitely codes. These are pictures that are being shown on the way to the water park. Here's the guy whose videos. This is a guy who's in the videos. The equipment that's around his ear, we have shown you before. You have to know what your elements are to to understand and see them. This here, these are common. They're not earphones. These are common things that go on the ear. And this is where they head to the water park. The carload comes here. You guys have seen a water park like this, with the garage door that opens. These are boxes. And these are elements. The faces are covered. And this is where the carload is going. This child here, clearly you see the white mask. This is nothing more than the slip and slide in the Wells backyard. Understand that when I talk about deep fake, I'm only looking at the elements. Because water, leaves, trees, all that shit could be created to go over the truth, or the truth to go under the elements that they create to cover up the truth, right? This is what's happening here. I personally see Ethan Chapman, or Chapman. That's what I see. That's what I see here. This is what's going on in the water. They are covered in equipment. I don't believe they have clothing on. And this is what this room looks like. I believe it's underground in the waterways. I believe you get here through the boats. I see that this is a tunnel in which the kids would have to enter through the water. This is part of their sacrifice. This is part of what they go through. You can't hear them. You can't find them unless someone brings you to them. This is what happens in the water. This is just like what I showed you happens when they jump in the water, under the tunnels, under the bridges, in the deep, dark caves. This is painful. This is a horrible sacrifice that these kids are going through here. These are real photos. These kids are really they're enduring a lot of pain, you guys. Look at her wrists. Look at his body. They wear those little white masks on their face. That helps create the deep fake. I only follow the elements and I don't follow the atmosphere. This here is very familiar. This is the equipment that they get connected to, you guys. This is the equipment I've been showing. That white thing is a tube. Those are the tubes that I talk about. That tube is connected. The tube's connected to the victim. This here, what you see in the little square, is the truth. What's going on here is not going on outside in a water place. You need to look at the elements. Look right here, right inside this square is what the Idaho 4 kids went through. I'm going to show you. This is very serious, you guys. The body is under here. That's the heart on its side, and those are little tubings that are connected to them. The video's super clear, and it's up to the authorities to go grab it. Because this isn't telling a lie. This is telling the story. This isn't being covered up. It's pretty obvious in his videos. And this is where that car ride was going, you guys. Here's what the truth looks like. This is just like the slip and slide. The kids are connected to these things. This is what they look like when they're going under the water, under these tunnels. Their faces get covered. This is where they're sacrificed. This is where they're murdered. There they are in the water. See the V and the 5? The V and the 5 is the major element showing death. See the 5 connected to his neck? Can't make that shit up. It's there. You blow it up. Wait, what page is this? 34. You got to stick with me through this whole video, you guys, in order for it to pull together, because there's a lot of information. I'm pulling all 4 of this kid's videos together to show you that the story that's being told here is one. here's this. So here's the person with the number 5 on his neck. It's just a head, you guys, you see. This is a head, nothing more. That head winds up, where is it? On the back of this dude's back. I'm going to go to a picture that's up this way. That head winds up with this guy that's swimming in the water. And there he has a smiley face on him. This is what is called disgusting shit that no one knows is going on. That head winds up with this person right there. It's very brutal. This head. On the other side, you have the V and the 5, which represents sacrifice. The V and the 5 represents sacrifice because I've been looking at it for over 2 years. The V and the 5 are the two main elements that I consistently show because I'm shown it. It's what it is. Right here in the water, and it winds up in the water. Right here. And that's a victim that's dead. Right there. That's what happens every time. And I have shown hundreds of videos that it's in the water. The story is getting tighter. This new person that has come along is showing the story to me of the Idaho 4. Equipment's around his neck, and they are brutally showing the murders. What you see to the left is what Summer Moon Wells winds up looking like at the end of her sacrifice. It's what she looks like. It's what Candace Bly Wells keeps of Summer, and it's the chipmunk face. Let me brighten it up. This chipmunk face is a massive must-have element to connect it to the Summer Moon Wells missing children. It never lets me down. This chipmunk face is Summer Moon Wells missing children. Now, I'm not really understanding how no one understands that that is in all the videos. This is what the children wind up looking like. That's summer. That's Summer Moon Wells missing children. I have enough photos of Summer Moon Wells looking like a chipmunk. Even in Candace. Candace has a box that she calls Summer Moon's box. Now, the day is going to come where people are going to be like, yeah, that box has everything that WCIA network has been talking about. It has, this is her box for any of those that don't know. This came straight from Candace. And little Summer Moon's chipmunk face is in there. It's all the way to the left. Let me crop it for you. Her dog's in here. The 5 and the A is in here. Watch. Everything is in here. That the snake is in here. That was shown in the Summer Moon Wells story herself. That's the chipmunk. That's her chipmunk. You see? There's the chipmunk is right in here. Always is. Let me circle it. So, like, I don't just pull shit out of my ass. I'm only sticking with elements that I have had. This is the chipmunk face. This is the same chipmunk face. It was in Fred Hill's backyard. Thank you for those ones. So this stuff that this guy just put up is absolutely disgusting. And what's disgusting is if the authorities don't follow up on this, it'll be disgusting. But let me tell you, this is now a massive part of my documentary. Huge. Because this person, whoever is in the water with them, has bragging rights of this chipmunk face. That person right there with the mask on is holding the face of someone that was just sacrificed. Where the fuck, when the fuck did it happen that this was acceptable in the United States of America? Like, when did this become acceptable to show and have someone show it hundreds of times and no one gave a shit to bust it open? I'm not saying, oh, now it's a zebra, now it's a monkey. No, it's always the chipmunk face. Doesn't change. It's always an A. It's always a 5. It's an L or a 7. It's nothing changes. That's what the story is on. That's what my documentary is on. This stuff. This stuff. It's going nowhere. Nowhere. Oh, thank you, Boston, for that super sticker. Thank you. I love it. Thank you for supporting. Thank you. Here he is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. This is exactly what you see is what this is about. So, watch this part, you guys. This, I'm going to show you how this here, as I go through these pictures, I'm then going to show you the Idaho 4 TikTok that, whose TikTok was it? Danica Doodles, when they were at the Sigma Chi house jumping around, and I'm like, I know what I see. And what I'm going to show you is the Sigma Chi house. I'm jumping around the back is the same as this. So when I see the same elements, even though we are seeing different atmosphere, I don't get stuck in the atmosphere because that is the deep fake. Okay? The only thing that I pay attention to and am shown and told about are the elements within the Summer Moon Wild's Missing Children story. So this is what's happening at this water slide, right? So you see how they have like that maroon, it's like that maroon person on the back. Stuff like that is part of the Summer Moon Wild's Missing Children story. They create these things as their trophies that follow the one that's being sacrificed because they're very sacred, right? So this person is holding nothing more than what Summer Moon Wells was holding. You see, these are the same things. This is just Summer. This is probably Ethan. So I use my spirit guides speak to me through the images that I show you. The images may not be so clear all the time, but at least it gives me a guide to use to show you what is happening. Here, I brighten this up a little. Because when I see this, I immediately am told, Lori, that's me. That's the same as what I have about me. That's why I grab the images. So I do the best to my ability to show you the story through the images that I bring forth. This is telling the story of the Summer Moon Wild's Missing Children. This is Summer Moon. This was a photo that I grabbed from her vigil in Hawkins County. At the vigil in Hawkins County, this was in the video. Now, all these photos I get from the videos, they come from the videos. I would take a sworn statement. I would take a lie detector test over that one, because I know it. Every one of them. This is the maroon, the green, the white box. This is what it looks like. This is the face. There's the monkey, blah, 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 blah. And that's Summer. That's Summer. And I know that is Summer. And it's representative of Summer being at her vigil. So I'm being told that this is critical. There's a lot going on here in this photo. This comes from the new guy in the black. And I'm telling you, I know what's being shown. So there is nothing that could be shown within new videos of new kids on the block that I am not going to see. That's what their legs look like. Really? Really? This is where we started. This is where I'm showing you that they cover the faces, right? So it's videos like this, and they're photos like this that represent this. So I put this stuff together because I'm told it does. So when I see this, I'm like, I don't go jumping to go grab just photos that, oh my God, they look the same. No, I'm told to go to the Sigma Chi house and get these photos. Because this is nothing more than what Cadoodle put here. This, the only difference is they added all that water. That's it. I pegged what was going on in this backyard as soon as I saw it. I'm like, does anyone notice that this isn't normal? It isn't. It isn't. What's going on here is nothing more than what I have been showing. This might as well be Summer Moon Wells in her backyard on the slip and slide. This here is your slip and slide. This is that. Someone curled in a ball. This video showed exactly what's happening to the right. It shows, because when I first showed this video, I'm like, you guys are showing an under tunnel ground. This to me is identical. So anything that this guy's showing in his videos to me is a carbon copy of the Idaho 4. That's what I hear. That's what I'm being told. That's it. It's the same thing. The one to the left is the Idaho 4. The one to the right is this new kid on the block. It's the same thing. Here she is running. I want you to notice the V on her chest. Oh, Muffin Top, thank you for that super chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, my amazing mod. This is the one that was sacrificed. This is the one that was murdered and found dead in their apartment. I want you to take a really close look at what's going on here. She is marked up as if she's a victim of the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children sacrifice. It's right here in front of you. This was shown, I showed this stuff right in the beginning. And then these videos were gone. These videos were gone. Really quickly. But notice how what you see here are the same markings, The same information, the 5, the V, as everything I'm showing you. You need to look. This girl allegedly was one of the girls found in the Idaho 4 apartment. I want to know how this isn't being talked about. She has a mummy head on her foot. I don't give a shit how crazy it is, because they all have these things. She has the green face. She has the V. She has a 5 going up her leg. This is Xana. Allegedly, it came from her video. Look what's appearing, you guys. She's holding the green face. To me, this is just like what Arbania told us about them running. You need to look at what's in her hand. She's holding all of the elements. She's holding them. Let me sharpen them up so you could see what she's holding in her hand. This, what's in her hand, is like what Kylie Rodney had in her hand. It's like that. I sharpened it up so it looks a little silly, but the lighting will show you. This here is Xana. It's not funny how this isn't being talked about. All they've done is put a Brian Kohlberger in goddamn jail. That's not going to do it, you guys. Here's the V. Here's the 5. Here's the green face she's holding. Here's the froggy face that goes in the water. It's all here. It's all fucking here. Why ignore it? I don't understand. I don't get it. This is the guy in the video when they come home. In the video, they show there's the markings to the right that the authorities have to look at. But to me, that is the milk jug that we find in the car. It's this milk jug is with the same little raccoon face. It's telling the story, it's giving information, and it's giving numbers, and it's giving symbols. And these symbols have something to say. Right on the bottom. So this is someone's milk jug. These are all elements of the Summer Moon Wild's Missing Children, and they're all elements of the Idaho 4. This is in the apartment, and these are the markings that the authorities must figure out, because that's not in their window. It goes away. It's not stuck in their window. It doesn't stay there. And that's important. It's an important thing to point out. See, this is them in the water slide, and it's not the water slide. This is exactly what I just showed you, is the back of the Idaho 4 at the Sigma Chi house. Yeah, they're the same letters on the car. It's definitely something that could probably, if it's important, to be figured out by the authorities. That is above and beyond my pay grade, because I don't, all I do is point it out because I'm here to tell the story, right? And here they are. Notice the girl to the left. She also has one of those things connected to her. This is very serious shit. And whoever just put this stuff up there, where I'm about to get into a photo, after this slide, there's just brace yourself, because you're going to see a girl. And I'm sorry, whoever this is, I am using your face and information because I believe it's going to help find justice. So I am going to be putting your face up here because I do believe that you're being used as a deep fake, if not the victim itself. Not this one. Look, this is the girl that's back there. These are all victims. This is a girl that was in the car. So this is the water slide video. The information that I'm going to go into next, you guys, is information that is directly related to the under-tunnel sacrifices. One of the videos goes into the tunnels, and I'm going to show you photos from the tunnel. Now, everything I do and say falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. I use these faces and information only for the sake of the missing children, to bring justice. Here come photos that show particular faces. I do believe that this face is a cover-up to a face underneath that to me looks like Summer Moon Wells, Kylie Rodney, and the Idaho 4 girls. Just brace yourself, because if you do feel things and you do take on energy, this is tough. This is the tough part of my presentation. And what I'm showing you, though, is how this is just like Kylie Rodney's, how Sammy went underneath the tunnels, and it's just what Sammy did as well. And when I say this reminds me of Kylie Rodney, I have a reason for it. Because I personally see Kylie Rodney in here, and I feel as if this is what happened with Kylie, that she wound up under the tunnels. I feel like the photos that we have of, and a lot of stuff, you guys, for those who weren't there in the beginning, a lot of the information in the videos were removed. And that's why I try really hard to show photos and videos that aren't up there anymore, right? Sammy, when Sammy went, I don't know, I don't even know when it was or why it was, but she wound up looking just like this, as if she was going into the tunnels, or it was like the night after Kylie went missing and she was making jokes about drinking beer and all that shit. But oh my God, Boston, you send me another one. Thank you, Boston. So thank you, Boston. So this is a girl, I don't know who she is. I'm using her because she's in this guy's video. And then this girl winds up with the elements on her body. And these elements are the same thing as I've been showing you. They're skeleton faces. And it gets really brutal. So this is what I'm comparing it to. What you see here is Adventures with Purpose. Adventures with Purpose shows the same information under the water. They show these mummies with the V's on their chest and their faces like that. The reason I'm bringing Adventures with Purpose in here is because I'm going to show you how this girl, they show this girl starting like this, and then slowly moving into, she has the same jacket on, but she has those skeleton things on her neck. And then it will show you she isn't who you think she is. The information behind her shows victims are with her. She has those little silver stripes across her teeth, and her left eye is now red and bloody. She has that stuff on her head just like I showed you in the beginning, where that guy had stuff on his head. This is information that consistently is showing the story. This new guy on the block is showing what is happening under the tunnels. This person has the same stuff on her face as Summer Moonwell's missing children. It isn't who you think it is. This is more of a child. So whoever that girl is needs to know she's being used as the deep fake, meaning her face is being placed over the victim. What's behind her are victims. You could see it. Now, as the storyboard goes on and the video continues, she becomes younger looking. And she becomes very bruised up, bloody, and it shows the Summer Moonwell's missing children. It shows the story. I know the story, I see the story. I could be in complete tears by looking at this photo. This photo here hit me really, really, really hard. These are the eyes of a child behind her. The eyes of the child lay beneath the eyes of her. It's some sort of a software package that does this. They need to look straight into these cameras in order for it to work, in order for it to take the place of the victim's face. But let me tell you, I know how to grab the real victim is right here. Her eye is right above her eye. That's the victim. So you motherfuckers aren't creating something that is completely covered. This is the baby. This is the child. This is the child that I am giving justice to tonight by telling her story. This is the child beneath the deep fake that no one knows who this is and doesn't have a name. This is the purpose of WCIA Network, period. It's to recognize the victims with no voice, so they feel a little bit of justice in knowing that we see them and we understand that they're within these stories. We see you. And we give them the name of Summer Moon Wild's missing children. Are they all summer moons? No. But they're victimized just like Summer. And Summer Moon is my leader, and she's the one who has created this platform for me to speak on. The child is within this photo. She is within this photo. So whatever they do to the faces, whatever they do to the eyes is exactly what I showed you that Candace had on her eye, that Molly Golightly did to her eyeball, that Bullhorn Betty did to her eyeball, Benny Keys did to his eyeball. So when I say he and I say them, what I am telling you is their channels are being used for those to show these elements. This here is what goes around their eye. That's the circle. I see it. But what's in between there and what's in the circle is the victim. Is the victim. The victim is within this face. This is in a tunnel underground. They went deep down underground in the darkest of darkest tunnels. And they're down under there with what they call trophies. What they call snowballs. It's crystallized forms that they believe are worth millions. And that's what's within the earth for what they think is a resurrection. This might as well be Sammy. But this is one of the girls on this particular journey under the tunnels. And this girl winds up being completely fucked up because she is covered in elements. Look what's hanging on her. The V, the 5, the green face, everything is being covered on her. This person, to me, looks just like a Sammy. Same thing she had on her. She had the same elements. I'm making this weird looking so you could see the green face laying on her chest. I made it dark like that just so you could see the chest area. That's the green little face. That's your little dolly thing that they keep as a trophy. That's a trophy. And then the other one, you see the number 5 clip. Watch this. Wait. Here's the number 5 clip. So these are all elements that you may be new to the game here, but if you're putting this shit out here and you know what you're doing, you're not paying attention. That's the number 5 clip. And this is the little green face. Am I buffering again? I shouldn't be. That's a little green face. So this person has everything on her as if she was Sammy. What she has on her neck, I'm calling snowballs, because that's what they're called, snowballs. And these snowballs are trophies. And they are made and they're down in the deep dark tunnel. They're very sacred. And they think no one knows about it. I do. Because snowballs were introduced to me a long, long time ago. This, you guys, is part of the Summer Moon Wild's Missing Children's sacrifice. The equipment is right there. So when you see this shit on these people again, you're gonna know. You're gonna know that all they're doing is showing you a live sacrifice beneath the earth within the tunnels. This person is the one being sacrificed. Every element that I have showed you guys up to date is on this person. As the video goes on, it gets more gruesome. Let me show you. I have to be real careful with the lighting because the lighting is funky. This is the number 5. Always on the neck. Look at the face, look at the mouth. There's their little dolly next to them on the left. These little dolls are like voodoo dolls. They're like nothing more than bones, like made of bones, like they're part of their ritual. Arbania speaks about these. She's in my documentary. This is all in this guy's video, you guys. I think he's showing the Idaho for the Kylie Rodneys. I do. These are snowballs. These are very sacred. These are placed underground in the earth. This is what they're doing under there. Here's the group. That is the guy. He could be taken as a Brian Kohlberger. He has extremely bushy eyebrows, and he's got the long, thin nose, and he's bringing you into the tunnel with the A. Now, within this tunnel shows information that is critical to the Summer Moon Wild's Missing Children. This tunnel is spray painted the word slut. They have spray painted it slut. And then under the word slut, you go into the tunnel that has an A. That A is on there. When you look at Kerdoodle's video, the Sigma Chi one, each of the victims that wind up on the floor have the A on them and the number 5. So the people that are going through whatever they're going through at this Sigma Chi, fake Sigma Chi outside thing, this is all one story, is what I'm trying to tell you. The sacrifices and all of the information that you're going to be finding in these tunnels are found here in the Sigma Chi video. Well, should I call it her video? Because these markings are on each person that falls on the ground. It's the number 5 box, and that's an A. And that's a skeleton head. It's extremely obvious to me that this is all one. This is what happens to the person. The person that is being brutalized, victimized, and brought down into these tunnels winds up being, they're like laying down, and that's the head. That's a head with the number 5 on it. So notice this 5 right here. Here, this is the number 5 again on the face, side of the head, just like Summer Moon, and they're laying down. Okay? They're laying down. Nothing. Here comes the guy. This is the next video. They're laying down just like how I showed you. That is exactly how I show you is in Adventures with Purpose. This is Adventures with Purpose. They're laying down, the same thing. Adventures with Purpose, the only difference is here is in the beginning of them laying down. Adventures with Purpose is almost collecting what was laid down. This is what it then looks like. See the V on the chest? This is this. And that's how I'm putting it together within my document, is it's the same. It's the same thing. You see? Thanks for the ones. Now, the 4th video, the guy is running. It shows me that whoever's doing this video, their eyeball on the left eyeball is removed. Now, we all know that that's a very, very big part of these sacrifices. The eyeball, the eyeball, the eyeball. I don't know who this is, but it's allowing me to tell you the story of the victims through his video. So again, dude, this isn't about you. I don't necessarily care about you, but your story that you're telling is a Summer Moon Wells Missing Children story. And because of that, I am interested. This is what's on his face. He walks into a room, he's running, and then he winds up in a room behind a room. Like he goes into like a few different doors. And this is what's on his face. It's covering, it's the patch over the eye. And it's not on his face while he's running. It's like it's a whole different person. Like it turns into someone running and then it turns into the victim. This is what's on his face. See the patch on the eye? This is the equipment that they use. The ones are to tell me that you see what I see. Thank you for asking, Butterfly Kisses. The ones are placed in chat because 2 years ago, if you go to my very, very first video, I'm like, oh, I don't know if anyone's listening, yada, yada. And then it was until months later I realized that I didn't know you guys weren't seeing what I was seeing. Because I read, these photos are being used for me to, like they're used as my tarot cards. They're used for me to give a reading on these victims. So it allows me to go within the photo to tell you what I see. So I may look at this photo and completely see where this person is, what he smells like, what shoes he's wearing, how hot the heat is. Now, you're not going to get that from the photo. So what I do is I will say stuff like that what's on his eye is an element, but I could tell it's pinned to his face because those are the things that I pick up. So they're used as a guide. And the ones are put up there to let me know you understand or you see what I'm talking about. Like this guy with this thing on his eye. There are many times for the first year I'd say shit and I go back, I'm like, oh my God, it's not what I said I saw is not there. And now I know the ones are really, really important. So this guy is someone in the video now this is all allegedly, and nothing's been proven. But I believe that this person here, what I'm told is this person here laying in this bed that is supposed to be the person that was running are two different people. So that's not something that most people would come up with, right? That this person running isn't the same one in that bed. The person in this bed is the victim, that he is within this tunnel. This is somewhere that no one knows where it is unless they're brought to it. This person's eye's missing. His eye's missing. And this is the summer moon whilst missing children, you guys. This is torture, and this is part of what they go through over a period of 3+ days. It's at least 3 days. And it's excruciating. In summer moon wells, the little children go through it just as the teens and the older ones. This is part of the sacrifice. And for some reason, this new channel is showing it. It's just showing it. The channel's been given to the authorities. This is obvious to me that this has everything to do with the gone children, and that it is underground, under a tunnel, and that whoever put this out there, all 4 of those videos are being used to show the process. This is trigger warning. Extreme trigger warning. This is the process. It's what it is. And we know that that's what happens to the eyes. I've shown this many, many times. But the videos that I have here, because they're broken down into 4, has allowed me to break down these into sequences like this, and it's all here. It would be a shame if the authorities didn't look into this, because it's really new. It's this week. This was posted this week. And the fact that I sent in information saying this is happening now, like this girl is being victimized now, is a pretty big deal. Like whoever is stuck in this room is a victim right now. Right now. The mouth is closed. It's sealed closed. So this, I hope, gets the attention, because this information that it's showing is very gruesome. And it's very present. It's very, very present. Their mouth is almost sealed closed. And this is very bloody. This person to the right is a victim. To the left is where they're hiding, these victims. So I'm showing this face because, no offense to this guy, I don't know who you are and I don't really give a shit, but he looks really familiar. Does anyone think this doesn't look familiar? Doesn't he look like the guy from the Idaho 4? He was in this video. Doesn't he remind you of him? This dude is in the video going under the tunnels. And the people behind him have all those hats and stuff. This guy kind of reminds me of this dude, but I sent this all into authorities. He looks like someone I've seen in the Idaho 4. This is the only picture that it comes close to. But he's the one who brings everyone down into the cave. He looks really familiar, like we've seen his face at one of the Idaho 4 parties or something. I'm gonna find it. But he's the one who goes down into the cave. So he looks like that guy. Oh, that got really blurry. I was showing you what's behind him. Oh, that got really blurry. This is under the cave. It's just showing what's on the ground. That got really shitty blurry. This is what he's showing in his phone. It looks crazy, but I've seen this before. I think they're showing the sacrifices, and it's something that needs to be looked at. I know that these are the machines, and I know that this these are the buckets. I know that this is part of it. I see the milk jugs. I see the equipment. I see this is underground in a tunnel. I see it all. So I don't know what you guys see, but it's really critical. This part is very critical to me. These are the chairs. That's the bed. This is the whole situation where to me, this is where the victims are. To me, this is where the victims are. Right in here. This is where, to me, the victims are. There's that print again. Well, the print there looks, let me see, page 82. That to me is where, let me see what the print, that print that keeps showing up on the windows. I think it's something that really the authorities, I hope, I definitely have the attention that, more attention than I've had before from people who could do something about this. Let me see this. So this print comes and goes on the window. It's not like it stays, like I said. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it isn't. But it's telling a story. Ooh, see how it has the smiley face? See the clown face now? See how the information changed? The number 2 is there. That's a clown face. It changes. It's telling the story. This is the story of the summer moon Wild's missing children. And I believe that frickin' car is there for a reason. I showed this in the beginning because I had to show it quickly. This car has people driving it with masks on their faces. Like, there's a reason for that. And the girl that's in the front seat of this car is headed to a sacrifice. You guys, I'm telling you so. I've seen this before. I've seen this in Kylie Rodney's photos. What I've seen is the same kind of outfit, the same kind of, she was in the front seat of a car just like that. She was in it. She was in a front seat just like this. And what she looks like and what her clothing looked like, I've seen it. And this dude has no hand. I don't even know who's holding up the phone. The phone is being held up by someone that's laying down on the ground. And I have to always put this in here because I don't know who that guy is, but they're using him as a Brian Kohlberger face. And I don't know who that is, but I can't say that it's I'm going to put it up there until maybe one day we know. Because I think it's critical. I do. I think that there's something about that face that needs closer look. Here's the slide that said slut. This is them going in the tunnel. And I know that the authorities could find letters and information in here that most likely will give them correct information, but that's for the authorities. I believe that many of the killings that are of the older girls, someone has a vengeance against pretty girls. I feel like there's anger towards them. That's what I get. That's what I get, that there's anger towards them. And I've seen this before in Check It TV's videos. Now this is where they go under this tunnel that says slut. And this number 5, like there's just a lot, like I just always see the information needed. You know, it's all connected. Now it's a number 5. But it's that person's video. All 4 of them really tell an intense story. And I have another presentation that I will put up a different time, but I felt as if this was critical because it tells a lot. It really, really does. And these children need justice. These victims aren't being looked at seriously. They're not. I have finished, let me see here, 12 minutes of the August video documentary. I'm not going to put it up tonight because I'm going to let this stay separate. It's a really important one. Thank you guys all for being here. And I don't want to give the name of who this is because I think the authorities have to go figure that out first. And if I don't hear from them and by Monday, then I will do that. I don't want to do anything that will jeopardize them getting information. I'll give it a few days. If a few days they don't, then c'est la vie. Thank you guys for those super stickers. Thank you for all the amazing words over there in chat. And I will continue putting this up. I'm going to try to be as focused and tunnel visioned with each live as I possibly can. Thank you all. Have a wonderful Friday night. Thanks, Brenda. Oh, you guys, Brenda and Muffin Top, my amazing mod. Look at all these people. You guys rock. The best support ever. My best WCIA network family. I love you all. Have a wonderful Friday night. Go do something fun. Do something with friends and family. I will talk to you guys all later. Good night, guys.